But also I used to turn my assignments turn them into films.
Mm.
Like a lot of my essays were films, which I find so hilarious that I
Mm.
used to do that. I used to either fail or the teachers loved me because I would do the science experiment and pretend to be these characters
Yeah.
and entertain the whole class and get 100%. It just really hit me when I was younger.
Welcome, everybody, to Casting for Two, the podcast, as always, hosted by me, Chris. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 489 of the podcast. I hope you all are doing well. Phenomenal episode for you all today. Of course, however you listen to the podcast, whatever service you go to, feel free to leave me a review. Let me know how you like the show, and maybe I'll read it on the podcast and give kudos or whatever, or just say why you're wrong. And of course, if you want to follow me, all the socials are at Casting for Two, castingfor2.com. The easy way to find everything goes to my link tree, so go do it. I make it easy for you guys because I love you. All right. My guest for today is a phenomenal actor, producer, just human being, just everything. Emily De Margheriti, who is in her latest project is called Sissy, and it's available on Shudder. And I recommend you guys check it out. It's a good psychological slasher, horror, funny movie, but perfect for Halloween holiday season and Shudder movies. Man, so happy to have the opportunity to chat with Emily. But I'm done talking because we start this episode, all right? So everybody sit back, relax, and Emily, take it away. So how's your day going?
My day has just begun, but it's good. It's Saturday
That's
morning
right.
over here.
Okay, because you well, yeah, I guess. Well, what do you have planned for today? Anything fun, or is it just kind of just chill? Like, what's a Saturday
I've
look like?
got what Saturday looks like. Well, for today, I don't have an audition today, so no working on the weekend. But might be doing a shoot today, meeting up with a friend that I might work with on a project,
Mm,
and then having lunch with my brother and his girlfriend.
nice. Okay. So yeah, a nice, chill, maybe battery charging weekend. That sounds nice.
Yeah, it'll be good. I go to Spain tomorrow, so
Oh,
not
okay.
so chill. I've got to get organized. So
Oh no. What kind of packer are you? Do you like wait till the last minute to pack, or are you like packing throughout the week?
I feel like I thrive packing last minute, but at the
Mm,
same time, I feel like I need to like roll all the clothes up to make sure I can fit everything in there.
mm.
So I kind of like gather things slowly and then last minute just put it all together.
Okay, yes, I totally get that idea. I'm the same way where I'll think about the things that I'm gonna do throughout the week, but then the night before I'm packing like crazy just because um I don't know. I feel like if especially, if I'm gonna be traveling through airplane, I want to be asleep throughout the travel. So
Me
staying
too.
up, staying as late as up as late as I can and sleeping throughout the plane ride. That's the ideal situation for me.
Yeah, I agree. I have a talent and I can just close my eyes and fall asleep anywhere.
Oh,
And it's such a gift when I'm on a plane, so I can just fall asleep.
oh my!
I just love
I'm so jealous of that. Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, I have to, I have to be super tired. Even then, it's 50-50 whether or
it.
not I'm gonna fall asleep. Just because I don't. I like my bed. I like pillows. I wish I could just curl up and go to sleep, but I can't. I really it's hard for me.
It is. Yeah, look, it took a while, but I managed to get there, and I'm glad I have this skill. But I do love a bed as well. It's much better than the plane, I have to admit.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And for Spain, are you just for travel or for fun, or are you going for a project?
I'll be going to the Sitges Film Festival actually,
Mm,
so I can see Sissy, which is the
mm.
last film festival that I'm going to, because I did the whole film festival circuit and everything. So yeah, the last one in Sitges in Barcelona. So
There
it's
we
gonna be
go.
nice.
Nice. And let me, there's so much I want to talk about, especially about Sissy, which I had the chance to watch the movie, which we'll talk more about. But I'm curious, for you, just knowing a little bit more about you. When did you catch that acting bug?
When did I catch it?
Yeah.
Look, when did I? It's such a funny thing when people ask about this. I just think that I don't. It sounds weird, but I just feel like it's in my blood. Like I
Mm,
feel like I've always had it. I've always wanted to. Like as a kid, I wanted to do classes straight away.
mm,
Um, I forced my parents. I'm like, you have to have class, do acting class. When I was like a child, so I did that in Australia, with like a very young age, alongside like doing horse riding and the
mm,
gymnastics, dance classes, and everything else that I used to do. But I always gravitated towards it.
mm.
Just like I used to perform like every day, all the time. Like I'd put on just it's so random when I think about it. Like if we were bored at school, I would just get up and perform for people, or people would be like, "Emma, get up." I'm like, okay, like it's such a weird thing to do. Like now, people like get up and act for us. It's like
Yeah.
no one does that. No one gets up and monologues or does anything. It's just super weird. But also, I used to turn my assignments turn them into films.
Mm.
Like a lot of my essays were films, which I find so hilarious that I
Mm.
used to do that. I used to either fail or the teachers loved me because I would do the science experiment and tend to be these characters and entertain the whole class and get 100%. It just really hit and miss when I was younger. So I guess I used to always film things and perform, and I felt that, and even growing up, I thought that it was less scary to dress up as like Edward III,
Mm.
um, for my speech at school, to dress up as a man,
Mm.
in on clothes, like his full like get up. I thought that was less scary than being me.
Mm.
So I just think about the choices that I made. I'm like, oh, okay. I've always loved it. Like, there's no denying it. If I'm performing all the time, I obviously have loved it from the get go. But my great great granddad, his name was Wally Thomas, and he was an actor, and he was in like Monty Python. He
Oh,
did Being Detective and he did The Meaning of Life, Monty Python. But so I feel like it has always been in me. Like
yeah.
I've always had that bug just from the get go.
If I had heard that my child turned in her science project as a certain character, I'd be like, "Well, all right, we got an actor here. Okay, all right, let's get this going. Let's get this started." That's but now I want my kids to do that. I want them to perform whatever project they have, and just I'll support them, but if they get a F, I'm going to fight that teacher.
Oh, but also I shouldn't be doing just, well, science kind of makes sense doing like a film for it, but some of the like for media, for some assignments like English, for example, you're not supposed to submit a movie.
Right. Right, right. I when during my writing class, we would always just kind of read a book, and they would ask us, we had the option of doing whatever we wanted, whether it was a book report or adding on an extra chapter, or just certain things like that. And I remember I would always choose to write another chapter just because I wanted to add more to the story, just keep going with the characters. And for one story, I think it was Animal Farm. No, Lord of the Flies. I just
Lord of
wrote
the
this.
I remember.
Oh, yes. I wrote like 5 pages of an extra chapter, just kind of going through the aftermath and stuff like that. And I got a very low grade on it. And I remember like, what? I poured everything into this. What's going on here? So then the next time around for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, I did like a paragraph and I got an A on it. And I asked him, why? What is the reasoning behind this? And he said, because I didn't want to read any more of it. And so I was just like, huh, my reading and writing teacher doesn't want to read. Okay, all right. Well, I'm glad I'm graduating. Goodbye. Good day, good sir. That just blew my mind. I was like, what? So
that is bizarre.
it's fine. It's whatever. But but I'm glad that the performer, still you went with it and you carried it on throughout everything. And just watching the movie Sissy, I have to say, you have like, and no shade to anybody in the movie, but you have one of the best roles is just the bully in a horror suspense film, because
It is fun, not gonna lie.
because they're gonna get it bad. Like they're just gonna they're gonna get it the worst just because of the nature. And when I saw that, I was just like, "Ooh, what a fun role to do!"
It really, really was. I love being the antagonist. I feel like being the bad guy is it's good fun.
Mm-hmm. No,
I really like it. I feel like that's my new thing.
Well, so what kind of character prep did you have to do to get into that mind space of just of that character's mind space, basically?
Well, I guess I tried to explore like what it meant to be Alex, and had to try and empathize with her at the start. I mean, it's hard not to judge your character at the start. You don't want to be like, oh, I don't want to be the bully. I don't want to. No, no, no. It's like, well, why is she? Why does she have this perspective? And I viewed her very much as the victim, and holds a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, and the things that she's been through. I think it's all justified. I could justify everything. So, and then I guess on set, I mean, I read the script a million times. That's how I usually prep. Just read it, start with the facts, the script, and then just work from there. But on set particularly, it was interesting because usually I'm quite a bubbly, fun person. But I mean, I don't like method acting, but in some ways I tried to just steer clear of Aisha D just a little bit, not be as friendly as I am, just kind of like isolate myself a little bit, just because of the character that I was playing. So it was a weird dichotomy, like a very weird feeling for me to be very different to who I am when I'm on set. Sometimes it was hard to shake, I think, afterwards. But it just holds a lot of pain and a lot of, they didn't feel nice. But like I said, it was justified.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely. And I don't want to get into any of this, the story stuff, but yeah, the way the story plays out, it's like, oh, okay, I can see why you would act towards a certain person. But when it came to the end of the day, and you had just we're doing an intense scene, and it's like, okay, that's it for today. Did you need to take a beat for yourself just to calm down and come back to reality?
Yeah, well, it comes out in weird ways. Like it's funny because I mean, I definitely need to take a beat a few times, just have some time alone. But I found myself like every now and then just randomly crying. I was like, like how it affects me as me, what the trauma that she's been through. She's she's a lot. I mean, I don't want to give any spoilers, but she's confronted with her abuser, and I know everybody will, might be thinking, oh, but you're the bitch. But no, I was confronted with my abuser, and I think that any survivor of abuse, it's not the nicest feeling being confronted with someone like that. And I think,
Right.
yeah, it just affected me.
Right. And especially, when you're in a situation of you like neither of you had any idea that, either were going to be there. Yeah, absolutely. It's just like a whole other dimension of like, oh my gosh, what? Because, there's zero prep time.
Hmm.
Uh,
Exactly. And what's that? And what's that like? For me, from my perspective, particularly, I mean, I know this from Sissy's perspective, very much she's being confronted with her bully, but in some similar ways, I am also being confronted with with my abuser
mhm.
in my perspective. But I don't want to give too much
Yeah,
away.
not give to which it's for the American audience. It's on Shudder. Everybody go see it. Which is just another thing that I love. I'm not a I'm not crazy about horror movies. I watch a lot of them, but it's
Me
just
neither, to be honest. Me neither. I can't. It sounds terrible, but I
yeah.
used to watch them as a kid all the time, and
Mhm.
now I'm just terrified. So I just like look in the mirror. I think American Psycho. I like
Yeah.
things that just go in my head. I see the logs in front of me, and I think Final Destination, like I'm about to die. Just, I can't.
Oh
I
no.
can't take images from horror films,
Yeah.
so my imagination's too vivid. No, it's just not for me.
Yeah, cuz I mean, the thing about and when I was a kid, I had kind of the opposite where I watched zero scary movies just because the idea of like a Michael Myers character knowing
Mm,
or like a ghost face, whatever, the cuz I grew up heavily into like the slasher genre. But,
yeah.
once I got older and got into the idea of movie making and film and special effects and stuff like that, anytime I see something, I'm just like, oh, that's not real. Anyway, okay, I'm back, and that still stays with me. But there's been a
That's a
couple
good
of
thing.
what
That's a
was
good thing. I said, I think that's a good thing that you know that it's not real. Yeah, I'll buy
it?
into it. Even if I'm acting it, I'll be like, oh my God. I'll be like, it's real. I'm like, no, it's definitely fake, but it
Yeah.
feels real.
Yeah. Well, so now there's this, and especially I felt it with this movie. There's horror elements, but it's really more about the suspense, and that's
Hmm.
what's more scary for me, where it's a scenario that can actually happen, like home invasion, things like that. Like that is terrifying to me. And that's
Yeah.
like, oh my, put a ghost in there, please, so that I can calm down from this scariness because I'm just like no. Um, but yeah, no, and I thought that was just because again, Shutter movies, I never know what to expect, and I just love them because they're so fun and they can be so scary. But this one was just very much. I do think it was a bit more suspenseful just because again there wasn't any paranormal aspect to it but
Yeah. It's a wacky horror, I would call it.
it's not like there's no possessions, but still it was just like okay, and went psychological and just like there was
Mhm.
so much in this movie that I was just like saying, oh my gosh, hell yes, this is great.
Thanks.
Of course. Is there when it comes to picking up a role, and I like how you mentioned that with this one you were just kind of trying to get into like like the finding out the heart of the character, the trauma and stuff like that. What for you is uh like a character that's very desirable for you? Like what's your perfect role, in other words?
My perfect role. I mean, I like playing the bad guy.
Mm.
I think I want to do this like Rosamund Pike clip
Mm.
thing. I went for the Rosamund Pike clip, but I just feel like she's really good at changing.
Yeah.
She's really good at being like the good girl and then flipping into the bad one. And I just love that. I love characters that have that change or like that flip in that way. But and a lot of her characters are really great. Uma Thurman,
Mm.
Kill Bill, that kind of badass kind of. I love characters like that. But right now, I'm super into cults. So I just love to
Mm.
play a character in a cult.
Okay.
Really random, but it just depends on the script. Honestly, it's so interesting because I feel like I start with, especially having my own production company, I like to read scripts and then figure out, is this a story that I want to tell, and is this a character that I want to play? I usually go in that way. But if I'm auditioning for stuff and I get given just the character and this is the script, I still want to start with the story. Is it a story that I want to tell before I look at the character, which is an interesting thing that I do. But yeah, I don't know. Usually it's just like it appears to me and I'm like, oh, this character would be fantastic to play.
Right. And okay. And it's so, again, like, hearing, cults and stuff, like they're so, I don't even know if fascinating is the right word, but it's just so weird how
weird.
Oh, yeah, my girlfriend listens to a lot of like true crime stuff, and just a lot of times the cults, they just believe in it, and that's the part that just gets me. It's like, oh my gosh, they would die for this cause. That is so weird, and it's just it just messes with your brain. So I totally understand where you're just like, oh, this, like, it would be fun to play something like that just because the devotion that's there.
Yeah, I just find it super fascinating. I mean, me and my friend, we were driving up to Sydney, Australia, and we were just chatting for 3 hours, listening to like cult podcasts and listening to all the cults that happened during COVID and stuff. Just I'm so fascinated about it all. I just think it's such an interesting. That's a very interesting perspective for a person to be brainwashed in that way, and like how does that come about? And that would be something I'd be interested in exploring. So I suppose, yeah, I like characters where I'm like, I can delve into something really fascinating, a new perspective almost that I'm not aware of. And it's really fun.
Just to play them. Yes. I get that. Yes. Yeah. But so for the people at home who want to, follow you online, I know I said it earlier, but check out, the movie, or, just keep tabs of what you're doing. Where can they do all that?
Well, I guess follow me on Instagram if you dare. Emily, it's Emily, and then Jane, Jane, and then DE. That's my Instagram handle. But otherwise, you can follow Dems Entertainment, DEMS Entertainment on Instagram as well. That's my production company. Yeah, feel free to follow what I'm doing. I'm going to Spain soon, so that'll be fun. Yeah. The last film festival for our little world tour that we've been doing, which will be a blast. You can see some of that. Yeah.
Nice. Well, again, I appreciate you chatting to me or with me on a Saturday morning, and I hope that your packing goes well and that you continue to stay safe and healthy, okay?
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. But I'll let you go and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Beautiful. You too. Take care.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.